I think it's a very important facets of all departments and research. I think has been impacted in several different ways. Um, First of all, from purely an administrative perspective, we have seen less amount of proposal writing activity from the faculty. Number of proposals that are going out has significantly been impacted. The second thing is that overall research expenditure, spending on the existing account has been reduced. And the third thing is the support for students and the students' productivity that has gone significantly reduced. And I'll take it from the reverse order now, that the student activity, research activity reduction. We have seen students are less motivated. They are more disorganized. They have difficulty following schedules by sitting at home, and they are really having stressful time, and therefore they are lagging behind in their deliverables. And it's across the board. We have done a survey within our own department of faculty and students, and found out that time and again, regardless of the research type, whether it's experimental, whether it's pencil and paper, whether it's computer oriented, all type of research has impacted. And the severe impact is, of course, in the lab-oriented research, where they had to come and do some experiments in the labs, wet labs, or other types of experiments. So it has really impacted all these categories significantly. Now, its impact on the management side is that you have supported the students, but you have not gotten the result back. And in some cases where the results were deliverables to the sponsor or to the contractor, that particular thing has become more difficult, that money has been spent, the research work is not complete, and now going back to the sponsor asking for more money, where they themselves are being impacted because of the COVID. So it has become a very cyclic in nature, that it is overall impacting the research enterprise. On the research expenditure side, there were significant elements of research from the students, where, for example, we had expected to enroll 3 more PhD students in our research group, and all of a sudden those PhD students were unable to join because they were overseas. They couldn't join, so the research expenditure that was supposed to go on, that did not happen. And it overall, I would say, in my department, at least 10 to 20% research expenditure reduction has happened during these last 8 months. Similarly, on the proposal writing activity, I think everybody is getting impacted, sitting home, following schedules, and doing the activities that, particularly proposal writing activities, that are self-motivating. They are not driven sometimes by deadlines, or hard deadlines, I would say. So that particular motivation is gone. And I think added responsibility on the instruction side, where the faculty is now no longer only required to do just come up with into the classroom, deliver a lecture. They are supposed to record the lecture. They are supposed to attend the question answer sessions, and so that has also taken away faculty time. And I think overall we are seeing significant, impact on the research enterprise in the department. Yeah, I think just like any other organization, we had to adjust at a very short notice. The departments got closed at a very short notice, and the staff started working from home. So, and that's an adjustment that everyone had to do. In some cases, it was difficult compared to some other cases. Um, but I think this is an aspect that I would say that has um, gotten fairly well compared to other aspects of the administration. One thing definitely is that the a culture of a work environment in the department is completely, kind of I would say decimated in that sense. There is the 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 offices are empty. The students have no place to walk into, even when we have opened the university for regular instruction in August. So there was a very little presence of staff in the main offices or other functions of the department. So I think you know, you can say, just the visuals of that particular thing, that there's the main offices are empty. There's nobody to uh, greet on at all times from 9 to 5. Other than that, I think the staff has really stepped up. They had really started putting more hours. This and we had provided all sorts of IT support to the staff and faculty to make sure that if they need any particular uh, support in terms of taking machines home or taking other equipment home, making sure their internet connectivities are adequate, and in cases where it was warranted to support the cost of upgrading their internet connectivity, the department has taken care of that. So I think overall we are seeing, as the time progressed, we had less and less impact on the functioning of the department. Although we have now reduced number of activities, the number of staff and faculty meetings, they have are now being spent more on on epidemic related issues rather than academic related issues, because everybody's anxious on what's going on, whether we are going to be continuing online, or whether we are going to, when we are going to fold and, go completely online. And so all those kind of questions took more time in our meetings compared to academic and other, usual, issues that we had earlier discussed in these meetings. So I think from that perspective, it has definitely changed everybody in different ways. Budget cuts had been one major factor during this pandemic time. We at Iowa State, we had seen budget cuts in the past couple of years, but they were smaller budget cuts due to issues of enrollment and due to some other fiscal policies. But the the you can say the economic loss that universities have faced, particularly schools like Iowa State, which are university towns. The economic loss that such schools have faced is unprecedented. Um, the dorms were not fully populated. we had to, reimburse students their, dorm fees. Sometimes we had to reimburse their lab fees, and so overall, university lost, millions and millions of dollars, and now they have to, make up for that loss. The state, are, you can say, COVID-related, aid that came from the federal government and then came to the universities was very little compared to the losses that the university has faced. So, without going into specific numbers, I would say this was a major, major budget cut for every department. Now, the question was how to handle those budget cuts, um, and we all know that majority of the budgets that come to the department is a personnel budget, and if your 90% of the budget is personnel, and you are asked to cut more than 10%, it is going to impact your hiring, your retention, and so that was a decision that we were faced moving forward when we were asked to prepare for fiscal year 21 budget plans. We were given a target number, and we had to then come up with the solutions how each department is going to handle their budgets. So in our case, I have taken the approach of not to cut any lines, of faculty lines, the staff lines, and find other ways to really handle these budget cuts. And one of the tools we all in our departments have is faculty buyout, asking faculty who have research projects and they are spending time on those research projects. We had faculty buyout from their teaching loads. And that resource has been very useful for us as we had some savings from the previous years. And we also asked faculty who had the capacity to buy out, we had them buy out a little bit more. And that gave us a little bit of cushion. Then the other aspect is that we had relied more on foundation accounts. We reached out to our alumni and also solicited help. So in the end, at least here in our department in ECPE at our state, we had a balanced budget without any major cuts in the functions of the department, and but at the same time we were able to continue on with the same number of faculty, same number of staff, and so on and so forth. But moving forward, if this thing remains similar in nature in terms of budget cuts, if this becomes permanent budget cut, it will be difficult to continue on in this mode for more than a few years. But within a few years, if we turn around, we will be able to, I think, rebound back and continue, expanding, continue, hiring more, and our program is likely to grow also in that case.